welcome to Project Helios, with the weirdest planets and weirdest life ever possible in science. This is not sci-fi. No offense, Project Zero. No offense. Why is this planet so weird? Because it's between two gas giants. Let's see it in a greater scale. As we can see here, there are two stars named Solanar and Pyralis. They caught each other millions and millions of years ago. Solanar was the biggest star and was the only star, but with Pyralis, they crashed to each other, creating a global thing. But they didn't collide. They caught each other, and after that, circled to each other. Pyralis and Solanar have 6 planets. I won't discuss the 3 planets, but I will discuss the 3 other planets: Aegean and Kronos, and Helios as well. This is Kronos. Kronos was the first ever gas giant created from the Pyralis and Solanar system. Before even Aegean and Helios was created, Kronos was a large gas giant. But how large was Kronos before? Imagine 2 Jupiters colliding and turning into a single planet. That's how large Kronos is. But Kronos was from a different solar system. He was once part of Pyralis. But when Pyralis and Solanar collided, most of Kronos' chunks flew out, and most of them created a new gas giant. The it created Aegean was made out of dust from Kronos. It also created several moons, and those moons were created from leftover particles, which was how Aegean was created. Once Aegean had a ring around it, that ring solidified and created many small moons. But the most interesting was Helios itself. Once made from an asteroid getting caught between the orbit of these 2 gas giants, slowly caught one of the moons of Aegean and Kronos' particles, being very, very big. Some of the moons orbited the planet, and most of the moons were caught, and the moons that Helios caught were 5 moons. Some moons were asteroids, some moons were complete. That means crazy tidal currents, everybody. Crazy tidal currents. Due to those 2 gas giants, it gets squeezed like a stretch ball, expanding and contracting. And since the planet is very far in the habitable zone in its sun, there will be polar ice caps. And there is 600 plus days on this planet. So plenty full of time for life to develop. Yay! As for our planet though, there's something stirring up on the planet. I don't know. But oh wait! What is that? Meet the astromorph. Astro meaning star and morph meaning morph. This clade was created from hydrothermal vents. After these autotrophic ancestors clustered together to get more nutrients, they started turning bigger and bigger until they turned into the astromorph. But to supply this big body, what does it eat? It feeds on detritus, or marine snow. It also has blue blood, same with octopuses on Earth, and squids. To pump that blue blood, it has 3 hearts, same to octopuses and squids again. But to get as much oxygen as it needs, it has pores on each limb, which gets as much oxygen as it needs. But the most fascinating part is how it feeds. Let's flip it upside down. Notice that there's only one mouth. Yeah. This organism only has one mouth, which means poor excreting. To reproduce, it mostly raises its body with its 2 hind tentacles. This allows it to lift it up and release its gametes. Once gametes fuse together, they will sink to the seafloor bed and grow limbs. And that's how they reproduce. But the mouth can also open and close. The organism has a single eye and a flat body for the tidal currents to not swish it away. Another group of organism might come from the autotrophs. Meet the pentaphyla. Pentaphyla evolved from algae-like plants, which came from the surface of our planet, which we will call paleoalgae. After a few billion years, it created the pentaphyla. Although the image showcases mostly 4 leaves, the plant has 5 leaves. First of all, the middle leaf gets the sunlight, most of the sunlight from our star. The side leaves help get the other sunlight, which allows it to grow bigger and bigger than its algae-like predecessors. But why that color? Like Earth, the color of our plants is a kind of green, but mine is a dark blue-green. This allows it to get as much sunlight from the 2 suns it orbits. As this plant overpopulates the reefs, this would create a problem. The marine snow stacking on top of them. This will mean some clades of astromorph might die off. But instead of feeding on the nutrients above, they might evolve to feed on the plant itself. Meet the Triasagoni, meaning 3 jaws. This clade of astromorph evolved very, very differently and very, very, very weirder than its ancestor. First of all, its breathing pores are now at the back of its body, mostly at the tail. Its eyes have splitted into 4 eyes, which help it detect green and black tones. Their 3 front legs will evolve teeth and cluster together, allowing it to chew plants. This will allow it to chew it into a paste where it's edible. But since this isn't enough yet, it will evolve. Clade will evolve teeth in their stomach, just like crabs and lobsters. And ask why they're cooked. This will allow it to eat plant matter more efficiently. But you may ask, what happens if it's not fully digested? But what's under its stomach? Under its stomach is a cecum, just like earth cattle on Earth. After digesting, they will put it in their cecum and regurgitate it back into their teethed stomach. Disgusting but efficient. Thank you for watching this episode. If you want more content, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and goodoosh!